Happy Friday morning to you all, and welcome to the Hunter 350 in dapper gray. Brought this home last night from Austin. Rode it about, I don't know, 150 miles home. Yeah, just shy of 150 miles, like 146, 148. It had 7 miles on the ticker when I picked it up yesterday, and I have not finished putting together my first ride video or my first ride impressions, but that will be forthcoming. This vlog may or may not be published before that, so we'll see. Don't want to spoil the fun for the first ride. Anywho, I've got to go meet the boys for breakfast this morning, and I've got some stuff that I've got to take care of. And figured I'd get some more break-in miles on the little Hunter. It's going to be due for its service pretty quick. 300 miles is the first oil change and valve check and all that. So, yeah, let's get this underway. So, 1 down, 4 up, little 5-speed transmission, and the very leisurely tick over of the idle. It's so low, it's just crazy. It sounds like it's going to die, but it's not, it's fine. It did really well coming home yesterday. I was trying to vary my speeds and not wring the engine out too badly, you know, brand new motor and all that. I ended up on 290 for quite a stretch, like 60 or 70 miles. So I was just varying my speed up and down a little bit. Slow down, dude. I was doing 50 to 55 most of the way home. And on the long stretches where I'm just stuck at a steady speed and, you know, there's a queue of traffic behind or whatever, I was just maintaining about 55, and I would drop to 4th and then up to 5th, down to 4th, up to 5th, periodically, you know, not hover at one engine RPM too long if I could avoid it, not more than, you know, a couple miles at a time. So it's a little bit impossible to do the recommended break-in procedure for pretty much any bike, especially this one. Because Royal Enfield is saying don't exceed 44 or 46 miles an hour or something for the first 300 miles. Yeah, that's not going to work. Not anywhere in most U.S. cities anyway. You're going to get run over. But it returns some pretty crazy fuel economy, it looks like, because I got well over 150 miles on this, and it's down to about a quarter tank indicated, but that's more than a quarter tank, I would think, because apparently once the light starts flashing, you know, you get down into the reserve, that's still, I don't remember, 4 liters, so pretty much a gallon. So I'm going to be filling it up over here at Walmart, and I'll see what the fuel economy was yesterday. It'll be interesting to see the numbers. Real slick shifting transmission, it's just great. Light clutch. I'm still trying to get used to the levers. They're they're far away, and they're broad and flat. They're like blades instead of levers. It's interesting. Not in a bad way, it's just unusual compared to most metric or Japanese bikes. I'll probably put some adjustable levers on here, some shorties that aren't so long. These are really long. I mean, they go out almost to the end of the hand grip. Alright, so I'll top this off, see what my fuel economy was, and then get out on the road. I'm late. Fancy. Howdy. So this will be the first time refueling the little Hunter. The side stand on it, or sorry, the center stand is a little bit, it's kind of, I wouldn't say hard, but it takes a little bit of practice to get it up on the stand. The lever is not very long, so it doesn't give you a good compound leverage for stepping down on it. So you really got to put some downward pressure on it to flip the bike up. I'll get used to it. The fuel lid is nice. It's hinged and stays to the tank. You have to watch your keychains or whatever so you don't beat up your paint. Alright, and it's a fairly low compression motor, so I'm not going to worry about premium 93 or whatever. It needs 91 RON, which are 89 equivalent. RON, I think, is 92, 93, something like that. So mid-grade will be just fine. So the guys at the dealership yesterday said that they topped it off, got it right up to the bottom of the splash plate here. So it should have been an absolutely full tank when I left the dealership. We'll see what it takes to put it back to that spot. There it is, right to the bottom of the plate. Oh, 1 penny. There it goes. 2.282 gallons to get it up to the bottom of that splash guard. Click and close. Fancy car, super fancy. His routine service on that probably costs more than this bike does. Okay, record the fuel economy for the brand new Steed. See what we get. Get under there. There we go. There we go. Come on, wind, don't fight me. Oh, now. Stop fighting. Yeah, this is a juggle. There we go. Doesn't look windy out here, but it's windy out here. It's always windy. There we go. All right. Get on the road. Everybody's waiting on me. I had a early morning service call that I had to do, and it took a little more time than I had anticipated. Let's see how I reset all this. Trip A 155.6. Hold and reset. Yep, there's a little control button on the front of here, and I need to aim these bars up. They're tilted back, and all the controls and everything are also rolled downward. They didn't get the bars quite straight at the dealer, apparently. It's okay, I can fix it. I have bar risers that are coming in tomorrow, Saturday, to raise these up about 1.5 inches and back about 1/2 inch, something like that. So I'll just wait until then and do it all at once. Okay, here we go. Start run switch on these is a little different. Off, on, and run. You push momentarily and it returns. Switch gear over here is the same. You got regular beam, high beam, and then flash to pass on the inner portion. So anyway, a little bit different look and feel to everything. Not quite Japanese metric style. Looking a little overcast. We don't have any rain in the forecast, so I'm not sure what the overcast sky is over there. Yeah, that low idle is just messing with my head. Messed with me all day yesterday on the way back from Austin. Every time you pull in the clutch and coast down to a stop, or you're sitting here to stop, it just sounds like it's about to die. That idle is so low. And I looked at the factory specs, you know, owner's manual and everything, and it says that the idle is 1,000 RPM. Man, that feels like barely 600 or 700 RPM. I don't know how that's 1,000 RPM. Just different character. Got to get used to it. All of my accessories are coming in from India. Well, most of them. Some of them are coming from sources here in the United States. I tried finding stuff here in the U.S., but there just aren't any big parts warehouses or, you know, aftermarket accessories here. What is it? Baxter Cycle up in Iowa has a decent inventory of factory accessories for these, and I was able to order the LED turn signals, black. They got little chrome accent rings around the lens, but they're blacked out with white faces, so that looks pretty cool. And I can't remember, I got something else from them, a couple things, but most of the rest of the accessories I ordered off of eBay directly from Indian sellers. They're all produced in their market, so they've got easy, cheap access to that stuff. So now it's just the waiting for shipping and all that. I've got the DNA air filter coming in for this. Got a notice that it's held up in customs right now, so it might be a few extra days to get it, but hopefully sometime next week. So most of the accessories will be arriving, what was it, September 13th through the 27th or something like that. I don't know. So they're going to trickle in over the span of a couple of weeks. Bar end mirrors are definitely going to be a must on this. I don't really care for these mirrors very much. They're okay. I mean, they're functional. They're out past my shoulders, which is good, but I don't like the goofy antenna look to them here, and they do vibrate around quite a bit. Otherwise, the bike just, it's very relaxed, low power, torquey. It's just a very pleasant machine to putter along on. It's not a speed demon, that's for sure. 20 horsepower, 20 pound-feet of torque, so it's not going to set anything on fire, but with the fuel economy and, you know, the fact that it can run along at 70 miles an hour on the highway if you push it, it's great. Put a couple of minor tuning accessories and touring aids on it, and it's going to be a fantastic little machine. The exhaust note is pretty good. It's a little bit huffy, raspy at times, but it's got a nice deep thump to it. It's got a good sound. I'll probably put a aftermarket muffler on there. I don't know if I'll do a cat delete or anything like that. It depends on what kind of economy and performance I'm looking at with doing the air filter and Fuel X Lite, which is a little auto tuner that's very popular on these things. On all of the J series, it's really popular. Ooh, that sounds bright. So I'm not going to be doing full freeway blasting on it. I'll do a few off and ons just to avoid some of the lights on the surface street down here, but I'm still trying to keep the engine RPMs low and not beat it up during its initial run-in. Now, I talked about it in my first ride on the way home yesterday. The owners and reviewers that have been reporting back on these things over the last couple of months say that it seems like more often than not the valves are tight at the first check at 300 miles. So I'll definitely do the first service oil change and the valve check. Probably, you know, on time at 300 miles or before that. I might do it at 250 some odd miles. Now, I would like that to be on the warranty card because it's brand new, so I might take it over to Iron Supply Power Sports and have them do it, because I don't have any oil filters or anything like that yet. They should be showing up, but I don't really know what their delivery time frame is. New O-rings, oil filter, all that kind of stuff for the first service. If I had them here, I would just do it myself, but I might have to wait on that. So I might not be doing the first valve check interval on this. I might leave that for the dealer. And then it's not due again until 6,000 miles, which is great for a, you know, overhead valve tappet style engine. That's, you know, 6,000 mile intervals is good. My little mini motos from Honda are 4,000 miles, so I'm not complaining. It's going to be a little tricky to get in there and do it. It's not something you can do on the side of the road like you can with the Hondas, because the Hondas have tappet covers over the valves that you just, you know, unscrew and you can get right to it. This, the tank has to come off. You got to pull the valve cover off and all that, so it's going to be a little more involved. Not difficult, I'm sure, just tedious. I bought a timing check tool from, what is it, Hitchcock's out of the UK. They've got a little triangular billet piece that sits on top of the rocker assemblies and locks the motor in top dead center. You know, it locks the cam chain, the timing wheel, all that, and it just aids in holding the motor at top dead center while you're doing the adjustments. So I ordered that. It was, you know, 30 bucks for the tool or something like that, and it's on its way. I don't know how long that'll take, but we'll find out. So I haven't found any complaints about the bike yet, save one. The horn is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if this horn is defective or just if they're all that way, but this little meep meep horn, you can barely hear it over the bike itself, let alone, you know, somebody else in a car with their windows up and the stereo going. So this thing's getting a new horn. Toot sweet, pronto, ASAP. I don't have any more of my Denali sound bombs. I usually have a couple of them spare, but I gave my last one away just a few days ago to Navi Mac Life. So good on you, man. He just got a Rebel 1100 and he's been customizing that and having fun with it. So congratulations on your Rebel. So I need to order another sound bomb for this. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it because the mounting location for the factory horn is kind of not conducive to putting a sound bomb there. I'll be getting an engine guard for it and might just mount it on the engine guard. We'll see. I'll figure it out. At the very least, I'm going to get a louder round disc horn to put on here. I might have one in my parts bin somewhere, but the one that's on this is just not sufficient, not at all. It's a low tone and very quiet. Well, I don't know. The freeway's moving pretty good, so I'm just going to stay up here. If it starts getting really congested, I'll do some off and ons, but if I can putter along at 55 or 60, then yeah, so be it. It's where it lived its life yesterday for its first 100 and something miles, 150. The vibrations on it are good. They're not intrusive or obnoxious at all. It does vibrate a bit. It's a very smooth engine for a 350 thumper, I'll give it that. It's counterbalanced and it has a pleasant thump thump vibe. You know it's there, it's doing something, but it's not buzzy, tingly. It's a much lower frequency buzz, you know. It doesn't feel hyper at all. What is it with these people? Two of them in a row, weaving over halfway into the lane on top of me, and I can't honk at them because this horn sucks. The speedometer on this reads about 3 miles per hour optimistic compared to GPS. So on the phone yesterday all the way home, I was using Waze for navigation, and it was consistently reading about 3.5 miles per hour lower than what the speedometer was indicating. So that's fairly normal. A little unusual for a digital speedometer in today's day and age, but you know, 3 miles an hour, that's not too far out of the park for being normal, you know. I don't know where the speed sensor pickup is. I don't know if it's on the front wheel, rear wheel, counter shaft. I'm not really sure. I'll have to go digging. I saw some dyno run videos. I can't remember. It was one of the shops in the UK, a performance shop, and they were dynoing the Hunter, and the speedometer wasn't reading anything at all during the dyno run. So that makes me think that maybe the speed pickup is off of the front ABS ring or something like that. I don't know. So if you have different size tires on there, that's obviously going to affect your speed pretty quickly. It won't or shouldn't be affected by changing your countershaft sprocket like on some bikes. Hurry up and wait, dumbass. There's nowhere to go. I haven't really tested the brakes too much yet as far as hard stops and bedding in the pads and rotors. I'll try to do that tomorrow. Do a good break-in ride, go out and run it up, down, speed range, and bed the brakes. They feel okay to me so far. I haven't really gotten in them hard to notice any fade or if they're kind of wooden feeling or anything like that. I have a set of double H pads on order. They should be here soon, so whenever I pull the wheels off to replace these tires with some Michelin Road 5 or Road 6, I'll refresh those front pads. I might leave the rear pads alone, I'm not sure. Alright, I'm not waiting on you, dude. Nope, on his phone. Sitting there dicking with his phone with his signal on, not paying attention. Cagers. Ugh. I was looking at clearances on the fenders and, you know, what possibilities there might be for different size tires on this. Not that I really need to replace them, but occasionally I'll go up or down 10 millimeters to change speedometer readings or speed or whatever. On the rear tires, occasionally I'll do it to get the touring rubber, which is a harder compound. But in both cases on this, front and rear, I don't think there's any extra room to put larger tires on it. The front wheel is very close, or front tire I should say, is very close to the edge of the fender mount internally. I don't think there's even 5 millimeters of clearance there. I mean, I couldn't stick my end of my pinky finger up in there to check, so pretty tight. I don't think you're going to get any taller or wider rubber on this bike. On the rear, there seems to be plenty of clearance forward of the tire and on the right side, but on the left side the chain guard is really close to the edge of the tire. So I think we're stuck with 110 and 140 millimeter cross sections on this. Front is a 110 70 17, the rear is a 140 70 17. So that's all right. Michelin is making road rubber in that, so they got Road 6 is available in that. Road 5 doesn't appear to be. I think Road 5 is only available in 120 or larger, so don't know. I found some Michelin Pilot Streets that fit this, but I don't really want the Pilot Street. If I can get the Road 6, I'll put the Road 6 on here. They've got a much more durable compound. The Pilot Streets tend to be a little bit soft and they wear out pretty quickly, so I'll just put some long-lived sport touring rubber on this thing and let it go. These tires feel okay so far. I don't really have any complaints yet, but they have a reputation for being a little bit slippery or greasy on wet pavement, so I don't want to deal with that. They seem to be tracking okay over this groove pavement here on I-10, but yesterday on the way home I was out on a rural highway out on 359, and they had scored it up to resurface it, and man, let me tell you, this thing was all over the place. Those were really bad grooves. I mean, they were 1.5 to 2 inch deep grooves, all, you know, parallel. It was terrible. I was getting dragged all over the place on that. Could only go about 40 miles an hour. I-10's moving pretty well today. I'm surprised. Right as I say it, it's going to clog up, of course, but it's moving along all right this morning for still being morning rush hour. It's only 8:30. Figured it would have been full gridlock stop a few miles back. Yeah, now they're kind of dancing around on this groove pavement. This tire company, Seat, however you pronounce it, C-E-A-T, they're an Indian manufacturer. I'm not sure if they are a subsidiary of somebody else. I had heard that they were an offshoot of Pirelli, but I don't know if that's true or not. I'm a Michelin man. I like that. I'm not Michelin man in the gut, not yet, but as far as preference in tires, yeah, Michelin all the way. They have treated me well. Metzler and Continental have treated me well on my bigger bikes, but most of my sport bikes and standard bikes with 17-inch wheels, I don't even consider other rubber generally. Dunlops occasionally, but only on the sporting side. Otherwise, it's Michelin. Since the Road 3 and Road 4 came out, they just completely spoiled me. Ooh, it's steamy. Seating position on this is very comfortable. I'm very pleased with it. I like this factory seat, but I need to get one of those perforated air covers for it. You know, the nylon covers that shed water and all that, because the seat is wide and flat and doesn't breathe. You know, it's vinyl, so you're gonna get sweaty legs and all that. So I'm gonna get one of those covers for it. I have the custom seat coming in from Royal Enfield. I don't know if that's going to be any different as far as the material composition, but I'll probably use that cover on that too. One of the guys is here, and Frank is here on his Africa Twin. Frank contacted me this morning and said, "Hey, are you doing breakfast?" "Yeah, man." Alright, I'm gonna go. Alright. We're going to take up all the spaces today. Backing up uphill. Short legs. Alright. I have arrived. Okay then. It's breakfast time. I will catch you all a little bit later on my way back to the warehouse or on my next task. See you then. Alright everybody, welcome back. Finished up breakfast. Frank and I are going to head over to my warehouse and goof around a little bit. I've got a box I need to ship out to U.S. Postal Service, and yeah, just hang out there for a little while, I guess. Maybe try to do some more rearranging. I think all those monitors are still sitting on my front porch at the warehouse, so I'm going to have to do something with those. Nobody's taken them yet, so they got to go. Off we go! Feels good to get moving. It's very humid today. I don't think the humidity has dropped at all yet. It's still 80%. we have arrived. Yep, still have a pile of crap on the front porch. Alright, well, I'll have to do something with those today. I guess they go to the dumpster. And neutral, and there we go. First commute ride on the Hunter 350. Alright, everybody, welcome back to Friday in Progress. It's quitting time. It's about 3 o'clock. I'm going to head out and... Woo, that's hot. It's been sitting out here in the sun for a little while now. I'm going to head out to Katy, head back home, and stop by a client office on my way. It's right out there at 99 and I-10. See if they've got a check or two ready for me. They said come by and pick it up anytime, but I called their office and I didn't get an answer, so I don't know if that means they're not there or maybe they were just busy. But if I got money waiting for me, I'm going to go get it. More accessories for the little Hunter 350, right? I moved my bars up earlier when Frank was here with me, and now I think I've got them a little bit too high because the bend on here is kind of going up at a strange angle. So anyway, I'm going to fix them when I get home, but my bar risers have already arrived. They weren't supposed to be here until tomorrow, but they showed up today. Woohoo! So I've got some, what is it, 22 millimeter bar risers. They're setback risers that raise the bars up a bit and back a bit. So that'll be fine. Get me sitting a little bit more upright, not lean forward, and I'll fix the alignment of the bars and the controls and all that when I do that. Woohoo, that seat's hot. I'm going to get one of those perforated covers, those air water cover thingies, whatever they are. I forget what they're called. Yeah, now the bar position is kind of funny. The handle grips are kind of coming up at a weird angle now, so I've got them set too far forward. It's a little odd because even as far forward as they are, all of these controls are not level. And it doesn't appear that I can monkey them, maneuver them. I don't know, I'll figure it out. The mirror stock, or the mirror perch, cannot rotate any further back, which is what the clutch lever is attached to, obviously. Because there's an indentation on this little gauge pod cluster, control pod there, that prevents it from rotating any further back. So it's a little weird. They kind of interlock, but they're separate. It's an odd setup. I'll figure it out. Once the bar risers are on there, I can have them canted further back. It's not really a problem. I just don't want the controls to be rotated so far downward that it's hard to reach the horn or whatever. So I don't know. It's just odd. I'll get used to it. It's a different design than most Japanese or metric bikes. Oh, it's hot. Real hot. I didn't take my weather thing. I'm going to have to check it when I get home. It's hot. I mean, crazy. Like 104, 106 today, something like that. It's really hot. Several degrees warmer than it has been. Feels like the humidity has dropped off a bit this afternoon as the air heated up, but yeah, the temp is up there. Sorry, dude, I'd let you out, but you don't look like you're really committed to the task. Wheels aren't even turned. Yeah, the bar risers are going to make all the difference in the world on this. Just not being canted forward. It's not uncomfortable. It's a noticeable lean forward to the bars. And I've got kind of that same problem with my Rebel because I'm short arms. I'm always lean forward to grab those bars. So I had preemptively ordered a set of tires for this thing because I knew that I was going to be getting it, and it's kind of a backwards way to do things. You buy the accessories and the upgrades for the bike before you have the bike. I just knew there was going to be some lead time, some delay on getting a few things, so I went ahead and ordered. Anyway, I had ordered the tires, but I didn't realize that the vendor that I purchased through didn't have them in stock. So they took my order, but they didn't have them in stock. The ETA is unknown right now, so that's not cool. So I might have to look for another vendor that's got them. The whatcha-jiggy, oh man, I think I am going to put this thing in the HOV today. I'm HOV, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have the tag enrolled for this, but it doesn't matter. I'm a bike. Legally in Texas, I can use the HOV anytime. So the Road 6s are the only ones that I could find that had 110 for the front. 140 on the rear seems to be somewhat available, but 110 is a little bit narrow for most 17-inch sport touring rubber. So the Road 6 seems to be offered in it. I couldn't find it in a Road 5. I'll have to dig around, find somebody that's got them. Yeah, no way I'm sitting in all that today. Oh no, not with this heat. Hell to the no. And Texas just passed a formal no lane splitting law. So instead of going the correct direction, they went 180 degrees the wrong direction. They, you know, it's been a gray area and tolerated, and we had been told and hoped and prayed for the last many years that Texas was finally going to allow lane splitting. And that's what we had all heard in the circles, you know. But they went the opposite direction. They passed a law active September 1st in Texas that it's illegal now for motorcycles to lane share or split. But of course that doesn't prevent cars from bullying us out of lanes or anything else. So yeah, great. Great. All the downsides and now a legality on top of it. Thanks for nothing, Texas. Obviously the Congress people here that passed that are not motorcyclists. Patently obvious there. It'll be a trick for lane splitting to ever become accepted practice here, just because the cagers are so aggressive and territorial. It's really going to take a paradigm shift in thinking to understand that we're not cutting the line, we're not cutting the queue. It's a safety thing. We don't want to be in the back of a line of traffic to get rear-ended by some genius that's on his cell phone and not paying attention. You get hit from behind in a car, it's going to be an inconvenience. It's going to hurt, and you know, it's going to be a financial problem, but physically you're probably going to make it out of it okay. On a bike, no, not so much. Somebody hits you 20 or 30 miles an hour from behind, you're going to be seriously messed up. So my fuel economy on the trip, I think I put the calculator to it earlier, was 68 miles to the gallon or 70 miles to the gallon, something like that. So not bad fuel economy for running against the wind all day yesterday on the highway at, you know, 60-ish miles an hour with a brand new engine. So it should loosen up and get a little bit more fuel efficient as it wears in. And after I put a small windscreen up here on the front of it, make it a bit more slippery, then that should also help. This is the fastest I've had the little bike up to, almost 70 indicated. I'll be wringing this thing's little neck running 70, 75 soon enough. Not today, though. Not yet. Woo, it's hot. Almost 200 miles, 197.9. Breaking it in like it's going to live its life. Highway 5060. This guy cannot drive that bus. up over curbs, pulling out diagonally in the middle of traffic across 4 lanes, 3 lanes, 4 lanes. Man, I think they need to send him back to bus driver school. Hope he's not loaded with patrons in there. They're probably all like, oh my god, are we gonna make it in one piece? Green, 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 green. It's hot. Green. Thank you. I've arrived. Park this thing in the shade so my butt doesn't get even hotter. And yeah, I'll be back down in a minute to go home. Hopefully with some more money in hand. Ugh, it's hot. It's real hot. Oh, it's hot. Yeah, I'll go ahead and lock it. I like the column lock right there in the key. It's nice. Okay. All right, I'm back. They were there. I stayed and talked for a little while with them. Chatted, talked politics and weekend plans and all kinds of stuff. And they did have a check for me, so bonus all the way around. I want to know what that 10201 is on the gauge when I spin it up. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's a firmware revision or something on that dial on the gauge set. I'm not sure. Ooh, buddy, it's hot. So I checked the temperature when I was inside, and the official temperature is 104 with a heat index of 112 or 114, something like that. Yeah, it's hot. So by the time I get home, this is going to have about 205 miles and change on it. Pretty quick break-in for this bike. 150-mile maiden voyage will do that. My normal commute routine is, 60 miles a day, give or take a little bit. So I'm not going to take it any time at all to rack up 300 miles on this. I need to check with Iron Supply and see if they've got the oil change parts for this, because I have no idea when mine are going to show up. I don't remember if those were coming out of a local USA seller or if it was overseas. So if it's overseas, the soonest any of that's going to show up is a couple weeks. So if I can find the parts here locally, I'll get them local. Somebody doing a bunch of donuts. Burning down those tires. Tires aren't cheap anymore, man. I don't think I'd want to do that. The shifts on this transmission are just slick, man. Buttery smooth. Barely even feel it snick from gear to gear. I haven't missed a shift on it yet. That's one of the things that kind of put me off on getting a Himalayan a while back, is owners and reviewers were saying that the transmission was just very clunky, felt very agricultural, didn't shift very smoothly and all that, so I don't know. This seems to be moving quite well. This is a different motor, of course. It's a different bottom end, this J-Series motor. Ooh, can't have that closed, that's too hot. That guy looks a little slow. I'm going to take it. Yeah, I might just call Iron Supply and see what their service schedule looks like for tomorrow. And I might just get up, crack of dawn, and go out and do a little 75-mile ride around the West Katy area out there, farm to market roads, and circle back and bring this thing to them around 10 a.m. or something like that with 300 miles on the clock. See if they can do the first valve check and oil change for me. And how much it's going to charge to do that, of course. I have no problem doing it myself, I just don't have the parts. And I would like it to be on the warranty card. I'm going to be doing some modifications to this thing anyway that might technically void the warranty. Not like, you know, changing out the camshaft or anything, but a few little things here and there that could potentially cause Royal Enfield to go, no, you modified it. You know, something did happen to it. Yeah, bar risers are going to make this thing feel so much better. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but I'm noticing some stiction on the front forks. It's pretty pronounced. Where when the front end is compressed, it doesn't really rebound much, and then you let off the brake, or you know, you shift your weight just a little bit on the bike, and then suddenly it goes doink and pops up like a considerable amount, like a half an inch or more. So it seems like the front forks might have a little bit of stiction that might wear in a little bit and loosen up as the miles pile on. Otherwise, I might pull these forks and drain them and put some Bel-Ray. I don't know, I have to check the weight, the factory weight of what the oil is supposed to be, but on most of my bikes I end up putting Bel-Ray full synthetic 10 weight in there. It's very slippery stuff. It's got very low stiction, so the fork stanchions don't get stuck on the rubber seals and all that. But I mean, it's compliant enough, but you can definitely feel like a step as it goes. Oh, it feels good to get moving. The exhaust note of this thing makes me feel like I'm riding a big dirt bike thumper, like a DRZ or even a KLR 650. It's almost got a KLR sound to it. It's not a bad thing. It's just interesting. Oh, just missed. Man, that sucks. Literally missed by 3 seconds. Ugh. I'm gonna sit here through a whole light. Or worse, if nobody comes up behind me, it's just not gonna detect me and I'll have to fake it. Ah, yeah, there's somebody behind me. 201.4. I hadn't even checked to see if my clock is correct. Probably is. Yeah, 4:12, 4:13, yeah, it's within a minute. Guess the guys up there in Austin set the clock for me. That was nice. It's a very small clock, though. I mean, it's a very, very tiny font down there. home again. Work day done and gone. Where are you headed?
Checking the mail.
Okay, cool. Work day is done and gone, and weekend is here. I don't know if I'm going to be working this weekend or not. I do have a couple of jobs lined up, and I would like to do a quasi Saturday Night Live tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I've got time to tool that up. So I'll find out and put the announcements out there as early as possible. So thanks for tagging along, everybody, and hope you all have a good weekend if I don't catch you on the live stream. See you later.